years. Well, it's our last International Angel Day that we have a costume play. Yeah, you were here.
I was here.
Costume play.
Yeah.
Okay. What costume?
Yeah.
Well,
Didn't wear anything.
I didn't wear anything, but I brought two crystals in. That is my costume. I'm a crystal worker.
Yeah. Yeah. Here's some more hot water if you need it. Don't worry about that.
Is it the book?
It is just a postcard. Yeah, sorry for posting that. Yeah. So you can talk about that. Yeah, what it is and how do you think about the book? What do you think so far?
It's good. It's not like it's not really boring. It's funny somehow. So it keeps you like it's really interesting.
I have a little bit more.
A lot of scientific stuff to back up about the mind speciality. So it's really good.
Here's the book that we are sharing here. Oh.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Okay.
So, which chapter that you're in at the moment?
It's about self-acceptance.
Yeah.
Self-acceptance.
Right. Okay. And how do you feel so far?
Yeah,
It
it's
change you.
a lot of reflection.
Grow.
Yeah, lots of reflection. Yeah, what I mean by self-acceptance, how do you do that? So it just comes to mind.
Will you be overwhelmed when you're reading this kind of?
No, not really. So it's a great one.
Yeah, I'm sure that I'm happy to hear that as well because I also benefit from the book personally. Yeah, I mean, yeah, okay. Any more sharing?
Okay. Unfortunately, I haven't finished the book, but I'm trying to read the later chapters. There are a lot of
Yeah, because some of the chapters that you're more interested in.
yes, toxins as part, so I'm pretty excited about that. So probably later on.
Yeah.
Integrating psychology, physiology, and quantum mechanics.
Yeah. Basically, he integrates all these approaches together.
Okay.
And
That's very interesting.
indeed, and he's arranged.
Well, I mean, I could sort of see like integrating psychology with physiology, but quantum mechanics. How?
Well, when we talk about all these energy theories about quantum physics.
Quantum physics.
Yeah, if
Okay.
you into more details of quantum physics, that is about all the energy field.
Yeah, quantum mechanics is actually derived from the
This is Einstein's.
partly, and they basically talk about when you look in, when you look into a molecule, you find atoms, and when you look even deeper, you find nucleus, protons, and neutrons. But then, when they look even in a smaller scale of particles, and they did a bunch of equations and mathematical meanings of what the world is, and based on the calculation that they find, they're saying that the particles that we see, or the things that we see, are just made up of energies.
Yeah,
and that's where the string theory comes into place. They say that.
Concluded string theory.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think they in this book kind of relate those all those subjects together.
Yeah, indeed. And you mentioned some of the very interesting point that like when we look into more details, there's an atom and go into all the ions and all this kind of thing. And sometimes we just talk about like we carry all these memories in all our cells, each of our body cells that they carry all this kind of memory. And there's another theory we talk about like part is me. Because every small or even just a tiny bit that is me and carry the memory of me. And then
What
like
sort of
DNA,
memory?
everything. if you look into the cell, that they have the DNA,
Yeah.
so everything just storing all these informations.
So there is more information yes.
No, it's not about size. There's no, no matter if the physical form is bigger size or smaller size, it still have a storage there. So it doesn't mean that they will have a small memory or just a little bit of a parcel information there. It's just you.
Okay.
And the typical example in our daily life, modern society, that is about like the organ transplantation. We transplant the organ, to another person that carries some kind of character, memory, this kind of thing. So,
Yeah, it's kind of interesting that there's an experiment that has been done that basically the experiment is that the scientists took one cell or one DNA from the first person, and then they took that cell to many kilometers away from him, and when they did something to that guy's body, let's say you punch him in the guts, and the cell that's far away but that was originally his cell reacts in some way, shape or form too as well. So
really?
yeah, they did this, I think it
there's
was,
some kind of yeah, I've heard of this kind of thing.
I'm not quite sure when was
Oh,
the experiment.
It's an interesting experiment, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was, the experiment was made in the 90s, and so they find that, if they initially thought that the things that are outside of your body is not part of you, but for some strange reason, when you punch the guy or make him laugh, the cells would react in some way, shape, or form too as well. So then they know that even though two things are apart from each other, they are connected in some way. And that's one reason why the the USA military, they are, I think it was in the, after 2000, they were researching about how they put on a helmet on a pilot, and that helmet will take in the signals from the pilot,
Yes.
and then if the pilot wants to shoot a nuclear missiles or a bomb, they just need to use their mind and control the bomb to remotely fly where they want. And the one reason is that the military says that if you want to control where the bomb goes from the remoting rod, you need to use your arms, and sometimes humans' arms may malfunction in some way, so they eliminate that problem. So you just need to directly control
Or even make it
your mind.
even quick response, isn't it?
Yeah, it will be.
Because you don't have to wait for the time, like, from the signal sending to your arms and the muscle and all this.
Yeah, so it's instantaneous almost.
But what if I think something wrong, or like, oh no, like that way. Boom, oh no, oh, but the signal sent.
Yeah. So
Sometimes
that's
people have evil thoughts.
Well, I don't know.
so that's how that's.
Or like a kind of illusion fantasy, like, ooh.
So that's why when they go through the training, they teach you how to stay calm and think carefully.
Meditate when you're in the war.
Yes,
But-
it's a meditative state to really focus and.
Yes, it is.
So it's the same, yes.
Yeah.
It's not that. But
Yes. Okay, I can change. The
Yeah,
bullets
I
come
don't know.
and
This sounds too double-edged for me. Like you could end up hurting yourself as well.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I didn't know that. Oh, thank you for bringing it up.
Yeah. So it's very interesting. So it's the same thing may apply to, hey, why people say that even though that rock right there, I'm not part of that rock, nor that rock is part of me, but somehow that rock contains some info of myself. It's kind of like the same thing as a CD. A CD is just made of plastic and perhaps some metal. And you record your experience, let's say your birthday party, into that CD. So now that CD has a memory of part of yourself. And that reflects yourself, your own experience. Even though that CD is what we would call as a dead living being. but it still has memory of yourself and your family in that birthday party.
How about I erase the data?
Well, yeah, you erase the data, and then you can reformat and record some other someone else experience.
So, what do you mean? The CD?
Itself, it's kind of like a person.
It's just a vehicle, but it's not really able to keep my memory because it's quite artificial, it's man-made.
But it reflects in some way. It can reflect your experience. It's kind of like
I know what you mean.
yeah. So it's kind of like a CD. When you erase it, you put a new data of someone else's memories into it. It's kind of like when you as a person in your life, you find that something is so meaningful to you, but later on you find that that person or a memory just crashed, that you don't want to be with that person, and then you kind of erase, you reform your experience in a different way, you take a different perspective, and now you may see it differently. So it's kind of like you yourself, it's like a CD. You constantly change your own data, just like a rewritable CD.
Yeah, but the CD is passive.
Yeah, passively, yeah.
Right? Because the CD cannot control the thing, you know, whatever he wants. It's something, it's a man-made, that's what I mean. It's different, you know. When you're saying about this story, I just associate with, because I will connect to nature. So every time when I touch the trees or grass or rocks or anything, just nature, I can reread this whole story. And I can read the history, just like what you just said. Like some history happening in front of the tree. And then the history will really turn up when I just touch it, connecting to it. Then I can really see it. And then that's really something just like what you just said, like a CD carry a lot of data or this kind of thing. But it's different because CD is man-made, that's something that I want installed here. But the tree or the nature is something that's just there. And it's just an evidence. No matter you want to say, tree, don't recall that. Sorry, I'm recording. No consent. It's quite interesting.
So you can see right into the person's mind and see what he or she has done before.
Scary. I mean, but the point is like, it's very interesting. We talk about, you know, all this memory and carrying all these data, because I remember when the first time when I connect to the nature, that I was able to see, you know, like thousands and thousands of years ago, you know, history and matters. So that is something. It's not passive and active, issues. You know, it's even more, you know, different from the CD. But that's very interesting. That is, you know, sometimes just thinking like this kind of thing. You know, we're keeping in memory that we are, you know, having a spiritual coffee here, and yeah, it's interesting. Yeah. What do you think about that? Have you ever come across this kind of thinking?
No.
Because, you know, all these things like trigger memory, and I don't know, some people they say that like they may pick us, or we pick them.
It's like Harry Potter. I should.
The wand. The wand, right?
Yes.
What is that? I didn't realize it.
The wand picks the wizard.
Yes.
What does it mean?
That means it goes to the shop and there's a lot of wands, but there is some magic when you're like, yeah, oh, this one. And then it's like, oh, this one, that's the one that we share with Voldemort. I don't know his name.
And all the books fly off.
And it actually happens the same with books, like Eckhart Tolle was saying on one of the videos, like when you take a book. Nice.
Power of now.
When you take a book in your hand, there is some chemical things happening. Sometimes you can feel that there is there is something, and sometimes the same book for somebody else is just not what he needs. So the book can be very interesting for one person, but just completely boring for another one. And even though the information inside is very relevant and important, but because things can be expressed in a different way, maybe the same message can be just more available, more easy to understand from another writer, from another book.
Yeah, in the energy form we say that, you know, it's like the energy frequency. When there's a matching of the vibration and what is frequency, then you connect.
Mm-hmm.
Just like why we meet here, because, you know, there's so many activities out there, and why you pick, you know, these activities, and why you go on Google search for the information about.
That's a good question for Henry, I think.
Oh
This
yes,
is your first time here, so what are your expectations to come here today?
Well, I don't know. I just look this.
Yeah, what makes you come here? Yeah,
Oh, just
sorry,
found this event on Meetup, like Meetup.com.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting, so I decided to join.
Oh.
So what are your, I don't know, beliefs, or what are, not beliefs, but what are your background in spirituality, or?
Do you expect some coffee serving here?
Yeah, I thought
Quite sorry for that.
Yeah, important first, the coffee.
Yeah, because, you know, sometimes I will see the people that they join the group.
So you guys have been here for long?
Years, like 10, 11 years now? Not sure at all. Now, personally, I joined like 2 months ago, but Ida is hosting this event. It's been more than 1 year, right?
Yes, yes, always lovely people. Yeah, okay, so introduction now. Okay. Yes, my name's Ida. I'm here as a host. And, well, basically, first of all, Spiritual Coffee starts from London. David Hamlet, my good friend in London, he has a very brilliant idea after he joined a number of spiritual workshops, and he wants to say, like, you know, people can join together after some training, after workshop, after anything. People want to share and support each other and just talk without any agenda, without any judgment. And then he grabs the idea about coffee, you know, just like people like to share one day, you know, holding a coffee or drink whatever it is. But the coffee is always something like wake you up. So we more tend to share something regarding to spirituality. So we're thinking, okay, the idea is quite matching and enjoy together.
Maybe spiritual spirits.
Well,
Just kidding.
yeah, I don't know if people, what would I say, well, I don't know. But yeah, that is something that you just want to like have a just relaxed atmosphere, share and talk. So that is how it starts. And when you start doing that, and I feeling very drawn to this kind of activity because I think it's a brilliant idea. There's no judgment and no hidden agenda. That is really completely free that you can share. Even you can share about your recent life, you know, up and downs, and then we can just support each other and then exchange idea like what is NED, like you recently read the book, and then you can just share with us and then what it's about, and we just have some interesting experience and all this kind of thing, and then we can just share. Yeah, just like that. So this is how we start, and start from one person, join my meetup, Spiritual Coffee, and later join a lot of people, more people. And yeah, that you can see there's a lot of members in the group. So it's really nice. Yeah, and at the same time we learn a lot. And of course, I have another 2 hosts. It's very nice. We
More
appreciate.
hosts tonight than guests.
Yeah, I think there were another 2 lovely ladies. They're very fun. Give me a chance of it. Okay. Yeah. So yeah. That is, it's very nice and interesting, meaningful experience of this kind of spiritual quality. Yeah. So really appreciate Danny and Anthony and John. We appreciate it. Yeah. And I do believe Hong Kong we need these kind of things. It's a very good start for the people, because some people that they may not sure, or they are uncertain, or they have a lot of reason hold them back. So spiritual coffee is a good way, or is a bridge to enhance or helping them to understand, or as a first step to follow the light. Okay, finish speech. Yeah, so back to you, Henry, sorry. You want to introduce yourself, sorry for that.
Yeah. Well, I'm a local here. I grew up here in Hong Kong until I was 14-year-old, and then I continued my college and university years in New Zealand and Australia. I just came back for a few months and started.
Few months?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's, yeah, helping.
Is that a lot of changes then after so many years you've been away?
Well, not really. I still come back to Hong Kong every year.
Oh.
Yeah, so working in my family business now.
Oh, okay. Oh, good. Enjoy? That's how you have to start.
Yeah. Well, it's not bad, but
Hello. Hi, yes.
Sorry,
Shoes
took
off
you really long
and
to find a place.
yeah, grab any space to sit
Okay.
down. Yeah. Just shoes off.
Yes, I'll just take
Sorry for that. Yeah. We just start. Don't worry. Yeah. Today we have a recording session. Is it okay for you? Because after recording that, we will post it on the Facebook and the Spiritual Coffee website to let the people know what we are talking, sharing here. Is it okay for you?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you for that. So just carry your introduction, profile, CV, everything. Just joking.
yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, just share whatever that brings you want to share.
Well, maybe you ask me.
I don't know, so anything I want to know about you. Yeah, but yeah, sorry. And you?
My name is Sonia.
So, oh, hi. Yeah, I read your name many times on the meetup. Yeah.
Yeah, I was told about this meetup through Aparna.
Oh,
I don't know whether you know, she's come to this
Yeah.
before.
thank you, Aparna.
So I was just curious and I wanted to see what it was about. And I attended one of her seminars. She said she found a lot of speakers from here. So I'm into hypnosis and I'm a therapist as well. So I'm always
You're
interested
a
in this.
therapist?
I'm a hypnotherapist.
Great.
Yeah. I teach as well.
What do you teach?
I teach people to be a certified hypnotherapist. I do trainer courses here.
Great.
Yeah.
Excellent. I really appreciate that you come here.
Thank you.
I hope you enjoy. Yeah, spiritual coffee is something we just share and support each other.
Okay.
No judgment, no agenda. So feel free to share. That's all.
Yeah, this is the first meetup that I've really come to because I've just recently
Yeah,
started joining. Yeah, I do a lot of networking, but never a meetup. So it was really something that I was interested to try out.
Molly. Sorry, excuse me for that. She's the lady that I always have to put those in.
So Ida should tell you very soon that if you want a coffee or a tea, you can have it.
Sorry.
Yes, and it's free. And yes.
I know. We just start.
Yes,
Yeah.
I hope
Yeah,
it's
we just
very
start.
much.
Sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, hold on. A bit later. It's alright. Yeah, we just start. Don't worry for that.
No, Peter is no email. My name is Anthony.
Space.
Watch out the camera.
Somebody's and
Oh, you need more?
shoes. No, it'll be just good. Thank you.
You want a chair or
It's okay.
Yeah, we do have chair.
No, I'm quite fine now. But I've got down
No,
here.
no,
Yeah,
no,
someone
no,
get up
no,
there.
Yeah.
Yes.
We just share
Yes,
about that.
yes, we started this
Yeah, sorry.
spiritual coffees 1 year ago. I joined some months ago.
Sorry, Wally. Tonight that we will have a video session tonight,
Yeah.
and we will post it on the Facebook and Spiritual Coffee website to let the people know what we are really doing here, to
Right.
let the people,
Yes. It's
understand what exactly it is, instead of we just type the words. We want to make it like a more 2D, 3D, 4D, 5D session. That people can really know. Is it okay for you?
no problem.
Thank you.
Whatever, I'm very happy to be
Yeah.
here.
Sorry for Sonny. Yeah. We just.
Yeah, that was my sharing.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. And we just start. Don't worry. And
Yeah,
would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes. I had a look on the site, of course, where everybody had put something, but now I can't remember who put what. But it was all encouraging. That was the lovely thing I thought. And to be able to meet with like-minded or people who are aware of higher consciousness is, to my way of thinking, so valuable. Yeah, I've dipped in and out of many things, and these days I like to assist people if I can, or whatever, with both energy healing, because I've done quite a bit of that, but also getting an awareness, or helping people have an awareness of their special attributes through their soul. Because I feel the soul is the dynamic aspect, the eternal aspect of us. And to understand a little of that, or the snapshot that works for this incarnation, is very valuable. So that's what I've been doing in recent times in that area. I think that's enough.
Thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
Really thankful for your
Great to be
comments
here.
today.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, earlier we just mentioned something about like patterns and something about memories and all this kind of thing. And just feel free to share and talk or anything, come up into your mind, because there's no agenda in our meeting here. It's just purely open your heart to share. That's all. So, anyone like you have something to share? We'll start from.
Well, I just heard of a story where a woman, she started to dream about her past life, as well as, and in that dream she saw herself and her friend, and they were dressing clothes, back to a few hundred years ago already. And the interesting thing is that they were, Caucasians, but not Asians, right? Yeah, and just a simple story about.
Is it a friend of yours?
No, I heard it.
You have this dream?
No, it's some friend, a friend's friend
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
I think hypnotherapy do lots of past life regression.
I do a lot of past life regression.
Absolutely, and a lot of people really addict to that. I remember when I was doing that, a lot of people get really addicted to do the past life regression.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Where, in Hong Kong?
No, not here.
Okay. There's a difference between regression and regression therapy. Like many times, just by regression alone, people can resolve, various issues, repeating patterns, etc. And regression means you're just going back and you're seeing. And regression therapy means you're actually going back, you're seeing, and you're doing something about it. So either you're re-scripting it, or you're releasing the toxicity. There's something therapeutic that you're doing. So more and more now, instead of just past life regression, we're making sure that we have that, the therapeutic element to it as well. So regression therapy, I think over the last 20 years has become
Interesting.
Yeah.
And sometimes when we talk about like past life, there are lots of things that we can do some healing work on that, because there's a lot of lessons that we sometimes maybe we haven't able to relearn it, from our previous life, or don't know which lifetime that we were, but a kind of like pattern that they will keep on repeating, until the day that you really learned it, understand it, get it, and then everything is solved. Yeah, and then maybe I don't know, maybe you miss the lesson sometimes. It's quite interesting, like what's happening? There's something like missing. It's quite interesting. But no matter which religion, or no matter you believe past life or not, there's something. Even like this current lifetime, there is a lot of patterns. Keep on turning up again and again.
It could be a pattern, and it could also be a person. Like one of the most interesting stories I've heard with the past life regression is of a man who was living with his sister and his sister's daughter for a very long time, and then finally he came of age to get married, and this was based in India, so it was an arranged marriage, and he was coming to the place where you get married, and as soon as he came into that, he was wearing the outfit of a groom, and he saw his niece, who he's grown up with, and he went to his niece and he said, "How come you're not dressed up as a bride? We're supposed to get married now. Go get ready." And she was a little bit freaked out, like, what's happening here? And he was very convinced that he was supposed to marry his niece. So he was pretty much deemed as he had gone crazy, there was something wrong with him, the sister threw him out, he had to go to get various, psychiatric tests done, and then he finally came to a therapist, and he regressed to a life before where he was her husband. And what happened is that seeing her, and while he was wearing that groom outfit, was a time trigger. It was a time trigger and a person trigger. So even though he had lived with her for so many years, that trigger didn't come up. But wearing that outfit on that day, activated that file, and he was completely in that other life just for that time. So it kind of affected his whole life.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Intriguing, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. Stories.
Sometimes it may be very simple, just turn up in our dream,
Yeah.
It's like, it's just something, or even, we can go back to the past and we can go to the future. It's
It's true.
amazing.
That's what Nostradamus did. He went into the future.
Strauss.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
But he turned out to be wrong.
What do you mean?
2012.
Well,
What was his
Well, I mean, I
prediction?
don't know much about
I
it.
don't know enough of that. Did he predict that one or not?
I thought he predicted that one.
Nostradamus, did he?
Yeah.
I don't know.
At the end of the world?
2012.
Is that what he
Yeah.
predicted?
Did he think that?
well, I think a lot of people, they have a lot of...
The one who sees into the future? Nostradamus?
Nostradamus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he didn't predict anything about 2012, but
Oh,
more
okay.
about 2017 and 22nd.
2022?
Yes.
Oh, yeah? Well, what did he predict for that?
Well,
Do you remember? It's a test for you.
Yes. One of the worst part of humanity.
Really?
Mhm.
Who's supposed to be there?
In 2022?
2017 would be the worst, and 2022-20 and after would be already better.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So,
that's kind
so
of
we're
interesting.
So we're 10 years.
Not
heading into the
allowed.
worst now.
Yes, they have to wait for 10 years.
Yes.
Okay. Well, no, I don't think so, because sometimes that's how we interpret the information.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
it's
We do
kind
have
of-
free will.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you
It's-
think better, then it's going to be better.
So,
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, it's kind of interesting that you mentioned 2017 because there was a channeler called Daryl Anka, and he channels a fourth density being, and that being that being claims himself as a fourth density hybrid being, and he said that by 2012 is the time where we are moving more towards the positiveness of our lives, and 2017 we will be remembering our contacts, or not just contacts with ETs, but perhaps our other lifetimes through our dreams. And at first he'd say that there will be a psychological confusion, but later on the dreams would explain itself sufficiently through a 3-year span roughly, and then we'll then know what our lives are really about and how we take actions towards a more positive society and a more harmonious community. And he mentioned something about that, so that's why I thought it was kind of interesting that you mentioned also 2017. Yeah.
Well, that's it. It's the future.
so what do you think about the future then? What's in your mind?
Blooming.
What do you mean?
Just too much. I mean, too many countries contending for resources and all that.
Do you have any vision for your future?
I thought a lot about future. Of course, I think when you start thinking about the past in your life and humanity, and then of course thinking of the evolution of life on Earth, and yeah, I even reached some point that I was really scared with 2012 because you can see so many shows, videos on internet, and then I don't know, I was in a special mood, I guess, where I was really scared. But being scared is not too bad if you can go through it, and actually you learn through you have to face your fears, and after you learn, and well, without even talking about spirituality, I think yes, what we can see from the politics and the organization on Earth and all is about money, and then natural resources, water, medicine, pharmaceutical industries and stuff. And at some point, I think we are all aware at some point, at some degree, that well, it's not working, and I think we are conscious enough to see that it is not working and it cannot continue this way. But then people who are taking advantage of that and making a lot of profit, even like knowing or not knowing that what they do is quite wrong or dangerous for other people, they still get richer and have more power. So, but it will arrive a time, I think, in the next years, I guess, when just more and more people become conscious of that, and there will be, of course, some conflict between like conscious people and people who remain unconscious. I don't know what form it can take, but conflicts will happen for sure, and it has to happen this way as well. I mean, it is not something that we should fear. That's like, I thought a lot about it, and sometimes I was very scared. I was like, oh, there would be a war, and then like, what's going to happen? But if there is a war, then a war is needed, maybe, you know, and we can still help and do what we can do, but just stop being afraid about that, and just because now is now, and the future will be the future. The future will be the present and the future, and so we'll still be able to do things and to react consciously about that. That's my opinion.
Well, from my point of view is that I have to actually agree with Anthony, the fact that sometimes challenges can be only a phase of changing, and sometimes it is needed for humanity to go and change to a more positive society, and as you all may know that the Americans, the USA are having an economic problem, and also the Europe, and I don't remember exactly when it started, but now I'm seeing that this is only a start of a beginning change that we as humanity will move towards. The reason why I say this is normally most politicians do is when they face a problem. Now, in this case, it will be an economical problem, and they would think that it may be a short-term thing, so they use short-term political change to fix this temporarily. But then they tried it, and if the problem still persists, then it would slowly and gradually become more longer term problem, or maybe even a permanent problem. And the way how I see it is that the USA and the Europe economical problem may as well be a long-term challenge. And if it's a long-term thing, then the countries couldn't really use short-term, solutions. They have to use a long-term solutions. And now it's the time. Now this would be, instrument step by step, and those steps, whatever change that they do, is going to create a long-term effect eventually, and perhaps it can help us to get out of this system that the economy is not based on, let's say, currency, or perhaps other means of substitution, let's say maybe a resource-based economy, or other more economy that is more fair, and this is the way how I see how the trend is moving towards, and I believe no matter what happens in the future to the global economy, now the USA and Europe can affect Asia indirectly, and it is in some way, especially, in Hong Kong. Hong Kong is only a trading city, Hong Kong is very much based on the other countries and what they do. But through this change or challenge, eventually, as humanity, we will reach to a point that we realize that this system no longer works for us. And then we slowly substitute it with some other new systems that will allow us to live more fully of our lives, that will build a more loving community, and not based on greed and power. So yeah, so that's my vision of how the future may be.
Yes, oh, of course.
And probably will be, actually.
Of course, we certainly have it, yes.
Yeah, I agree as well. There is this book, it's called Incredibly Unbelievable, and it's written by someone called Sunny Satin, who was also a hypnotherapist, but he passed away. And this was kind of the last thing that he wrote. And he predicted that there's going to be a lot of, catastrophes and economic crisis and all of this stuff, as both of you were saying, and it's going to be in a destructive phase. And after that, there will be no such thing as money, because people will live in a way where there is more of an equality. Maybe we'll go back down to commodities such as gold, etc. There's going to be no need for airplanes, because we'll be able to transport ourselves. And we'll be able to reach the next dimension where you just, think of something and then you master time and space and you can just go into another city. And he's written about so many different aspects of life. Marriage will become obsolete because you don't need to have that contract. And you can just be with each other and have that trust. And there will still be relationships, but the relationships will look very different. So it was really interesting, actually. I'm open to see. But I do believe it to some extent, yeah.
What do you mean of believing to a certain extent? Like which area that you have some frustration, or what do you mean of that?
No, there's a part of me that's like, really? Is it really possible? So then there's a little doubt there. But then when I look into my heart, I do feel like there are some people whose consciousness has just exponentially gone to the other level in the last 5 or 6 years. There are some people that are not. So I believe that this disparity, it's going to increase and enlarge. And maybe there is going to be some part of us that will, this is my take on it, that will be living in a parallel universe or in a different space where life will start looking like this. And then there'll be other people whose universe will look very, very different. And then this is going to be sort of polarized until maybe all of humanity steps into that, because ultimately there is oneness. That would be my personal take.
I absolutely agree with you. And it's not surprise, and I'm quite happy that you bring up this idea, because I think I did some classes before, like talk about telepathic and all this kind of thing. It's all happening, since and then. So it's nothing surprise. It's just only about the people that they're not used to that. So just like what you use the word like doubt. And as a human, sometimes we're just so used to see the physical form. But sometimes a lot of things that it's not, using the human knowledge or use our physical senses to understand. That is something that, like you said, when you answer your heart, when you open up it, then you'll find it. That is another story. Just like when you love someone, you just cannot find words to explain why you love him or love her. It's just here. It's just, again, it's like back to the earlier topic that we mentioned. Basically, the energy, vibration are coherent to each other, right? So echo with each other, and that's why it's matched. And it's just like you say, the magic wand. You pick the magic wand in the Harry Potter, right? So there's something like there's an energy that's matching. Right? And I'm not surprised, Harry Potter, you just, boom, that's it. You don't have to write email, texting, all this kind of stupid idea. It's not civilized using, all this phone and smartphone to type the thing. It's just like that. And no misinterpretation.
completely online. So
Exactly,
there's
completely
no point.
online,
Yeah, you
yes.
don't have to fill them out. All the
Completely
fancy little steps you're meant to take. You
Yeah,
just
exactly,
scan it
completely
in.
wireless, yeah.
This is what we call
Without the iPhones or anything else, are there?
we call it sometimes coincidence.
Ah,
When you're thinking
yeah.
of someone, and then you can call it
Oh, yes,
synchronicity as well.
happens all the time.
But people who don't believe it, and they say, well, it's just a coincidence. And then if you
Yeah.
you call it synchronicity, like 2 weeks ago, I was just, my phone died, and then I was thinking it was like 7:30, I was by, no, it was 9, and I was by Central, and I was thinking, oh, then I should have called this friend who just finished working and is living close to my place. And so I said, well, I'll look around and maybe I will see him, but like, come on, there is no chance. And then I just forgot. And then I went to the MTR, and I was just here, and then I decided to just to meditate in a way, like just to observe, look around, and just accept everything as it is. And I just saw my friend.
Yeah.
Ah!
And the funny thing is, he's driving a motorcycle, a moto. But this day in particular, he didn't take it because it was raining outside. And he was just here. I say, hey. I say, hey, let's go have a drink. Yes, exactly.
Oh,
Yes.
nice.
Yeah, and
Often
you
it
let it
happens.
go. You were not like, I gotta see him. Let it go.
No,
You were
yeah,
just
you
in-
let it go.
Yeah.
That was so important.
Yeah.
You were just calm about
You're
things.
just being with what is, and
Yeah.
you showed up.
And then it counts.
Yeah.
It just
It's a
happens.
bit like a magnetism of some sort,
Yeah.
which we don't quite yet fathom or understand. But yeah, you can't always operate it, but when you
Yes.
can, it happens. And it's beautiful.
Yes, the French word for magnet is aimant. And aimant comes from the verb to love, aimer. So it means when two things are attracted to each other, like the magnets, they love each other.
Yeah, it's a bit like what you're saying.
I really like this
Yeah,
this
the
word for
idea
it.
of it just coming. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
You know, when the time is right, when the frequency is matching, everything just happens.
Like that.
And that is something that we cannot use the human knowledge to explain.
But it happens. And I
Exactly.
think it's what you mentioned too, with this
Exactly.
person who gave it. That is the higher level where things will happen, just like that, as you say. And we, just as it should be. But at the moment we get bogged down with, like you say, you had fears about the temperature. Other people did too, all over the place. That gives a heavy. Right? Magnetism only works even with the magnets if they're dry and, you know, the atmosphere can conflict even with magnetism. I think sometimes we get so heavy. But then it doesn't. But you said you gave that away at that point, you know, and then, yeah.
That's so true. I find that whenever I've gotten something in my life that I really wanted, I've always said, no, that's not going to happen. It's okay. It's okay. You know, and I completely let it go.
Let it go, yeah.
Completely let it go. Like, oh, I'd love to have that. Actually, it's okay. I don't need that, have that. Let it go. Be happy the way that I am now. And it shows up.
Next thing, 2 days later,
Oh,
that was that thing I
And then
decided I
at times
couldn't
when I
have.
saw The Secret, I'm like, okay, visualize it. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Yes, yes, yes. You know, this is like, what, 5 years ago.
Yes.
Nothing ever happened to me when I was doing that.
When you were positive,
yeah.
you
Gotta
were
do it, gotta
like
do
you're
it. There
whipping
was
a
so much
horse.
attachment. Yeah. I'm like, look, that just doesn't work for me.
I think the positive thinking is good,
Yeah.
but yeah, there's a wee bit more than just getting yourself lined up.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Seems-
Yeah, get yourself lined up.
And that
That's
wee
very
bit more
important.
is monstrous.
A lot, a lot of people they just do in a collective level, but it's not
You've got to
lined up.
have this
That is something that is not
marvelous
manifest.
person show up, or my,
Yeah.
gonna have this fantastic thing happen.
We really want to manifest that you have to be congruent. You know, if you're not congruent, then there's nothing happen.
Yeah.
For me, I think the best way that I manifested is to be okay without it. That's when it really showed
It
up.
is amazing, that,
When,
isn't it?
yeah, when I'm absolutely okay without the thing, it shows up. That was my personal thinking.
As you said, relationships first.
But it's very hard, I think, for everybody.
Oh,
all of
yeah.
us, to just dump whatever it is, because it's usually some really important thing to us. It's
Yeah.
not just, whether I have a toffee or I don't.
Of course.
Yeah.
And that attachment is what keeps someone going, the desire, right?
And that's what the great gurus always say, isn't it? But to
When there's
detach.
no
with that.
expectation, the expectation always comes up.
I think that is something more regarding to your faith. So no matter your expectation, or you don't have any expectation, or you want it or you don't want it, the point is, do you believe you deserve it?
Yeah.
If you believe you don't deserve it,
Then it was.
you will not attract it anyway.
You're undeserving.
Right? It's something that you believe here.
Yeah.
So if you don't believe, so you may create kind of fear, doubt,
Yeah.
uncertainty,
Yes.
and just repelling the things.
Yeah.
Even though it's right next to you, you're not able to get it because you don't believe you deserve it.
Mhm.
So there's something that
There's balance.
Yeah.
There's something here, isn't there?
yeah. Yeah.
You know, so I also think acceptance is also it plays a big role into it. When you accept some things, you tend to get less frustrated by that situation, and then somehow you let it go, and it will reform itself into a different paradigm. So one example would be when let's say the mom is trying to understand her kids, let's say her daughter, and sometimes she may even have some arguments with her daughter and saying, why aren't you doing this or why aren't you doing that, and her daughter got frustrated at the same time too. Why can't you understand me in this way, shape, or form? But then when both parties, both persons, accept the situation and not get as frustrated by each other, and they tend to bother each other less, and then the transformation comes into place now. And suddenly, because both persons are more calm, they start to understand, and subconsciously that understanding does not has to come with actions, but just to be in a peaceful place of mindset, and then you will understand each other even better. So I thought that maybe acceptance is also a very major key.
Yeah, when you're in this kind of a calm state, right? So something is very, I mean, everything comes together, and then everything combined is just like forming as a whole. What do you think?
Well, I guess it's amazing how many people are angry, full of anger deep inside, and always lose temper.
Yeah, people when they have this kind of different energy force turn up. Like, that is a kind of like maybe insecurity, fear.
Fear. And anger is often a reaction.
Exactly.
Fear.
And,
Always need more.
yeah, maybe they have another system of belief.
I have one of my teachers back in secondary schools. A few months ago, he threw himself out of the building.
Killed himself? He threw himself.
Oh, he survived, but yeah, he was seriously injured.
Is he okay, or just?
Oh, he's okay now, but he was seriously injured.
Injury, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Seriously.
It was short selling gold,
So as a result of
and he
losing-
lost all his money. So he decided to
he'd
throw.
invested in something.
Yeah. He decided to throw himself out of the building.
Yeah, sometimes it's
Very, very hard to.
this kind of story is, I just always,
It was on the
in
news
some
today.
way I don't understand why. But
No.
on the other hand, I just don't understand another why that is like, if you have such kind of big courage to do that.
Yeah, where do you
Yeah.
find the courage to throw yourself out of, I don't know, 20 stories or even
Yeah.
two?
For them, probably living is more painful than dying. That's why living that day to day for them would be more to take more courage to do that.
It's not the fear of dying, it's
Yeah.
just the jumping over the edge. That
Yeah.
I wouldn't go, dying's okay.
It only
but
takes a few seconds to do that, right?
no, that's fine, but just leaping over the edge, how am I going to do that?
So easy, I told you
Actually, you
that.
might have just call someone in. Hey, you did the shooting, will you? That would solve it.
But you know, it's been proven that if you jump over a building,
Yeah.
then you actually die before you hit the ground.
Do you really?
Because in that fall,
Oh, right.
right, there's some, I
Yeah.
don't know what the scientific thing
Oh,
is,
okay.
but
you've
the,
left.
Gravity, yeah, the
You
gravity
jumped
force,
out.
Yeah,
Your
so the-
spirit
the death
said,
is-
hey, this is
Yeah,
going
the
to
spirit
work.
wanted to fly.
Yes, you've done something real dumb now.
Yeah, your spirit wants to
Yeah.
remain in the air, and
Yeah.
equally
I'm
you
out
have
of
to be
this.
pulled down by the
Yeah, you're too stupid to be dealing with. Yeah. You worked it. Yeah. Okay,
So
but
begins from
So
didn't
how
love,
is he
of
now?
course, but
to survive.
I mean, he's
and
the
how
one
long
that-
ago was this? A year or so ago?
October last year.
So he survived, and does he manage to rebuild his life now, or?
Not so sure, but I
And
don't.
you kind of just knew you had a
Yeah,
close
just kind of-
link with him, or not
Yeah,
really? You
no,
just
no,
sort
not
of somebody.
really.
that
I'm
you
happy
had
to
as a
see
teacher.
him. I mean, be
Yes.
honest.
Right.
If you have any
No,
contact
he's
with him, I'm
a
happy to
Christian
see
already.
him. Sorry?
He's a religious person.
Is he?
Always been.
Yeah, but I'm happy to see him. I really want to interview him.
Right.
Yeah. I think you have such a courage to do that. I mean, sometimes it's like,
Yeah, like-
if you have such kind of courage, that you have such kind of
Yeah, but I think it's
infinitive possibility in life. Basically.
Hmm.
well because it only takes minutes to die. But,
But he must have been, in a very worried state. Yeah, was he a married man or kids or something?
I don't think he has kids, but yeah.
Yeah, and just so impossible to face up to. But you see, the sad thing is there's quite a few students and things too, don't it? They can't pass their exam or something, and they toss themselves out, or do something that ends their life, or calls for a suicide call. And he just was that because he didn't kill himself. So it's sort of a scream then, isn't it? For
I think there's another belief again. They believe they have no solution there.
of course, yeah,
Yeah, it's
absolutely.
So they
Yeah.
believe there's no choices. They have, there's no other choices, and they cannot make it. It's about belief. So it's like holding another kind of different belief system.
I was actually having a debate recently with a group of friends about, do you think that every single person at some point in their life, for whatever reason, has thought to end their life? And most of them said yes. At some point, doesn't mean you'll act on it, doesn't mean it's charged, but at some point you're like, oh, I just wish that I would just die right now. Probably every person has had that, right? The suicidal thought. The seed is in everybody.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
it's not a
nice.
negative or bad
It really
thing.
depends on how screwed up is the actual situation is.
How serious the problem,
Yeah.
or how serious you believe the problem to be, in your social context.
I
And
think,
in some other part it mightn't have been so serious to lose all his gold or whatever else. Also, I don't know if anyone thinks about that, but what is the implication on your future lives when you end this one? Sure. I mean, there's a lot of stuff written about how then you'll face that one again in the next one. So better just to face that one right now and look at how this is going to affect your eternal sort of path. There's a lot of them always say, don't they, that those that have jumped out like that are just going to have a bigger problem on the next one. And if you kind of have that belief, then it's like, oh, I don't think I need any more problems for the next round. So then you'd be inclined to, I better try and stitch this together, whatever I've done with the money. Maybe I'll see if somebody can help me. That need to get someone to help too is very difficult, isn't it, sometimes? I don't know. Do you believe that it, if you ended this one without allowing it to run its natural course, that you would be faced with the problem for the next one?
Yeah.
Of great
to some
serious
extent.
proportions, yeah.
That's where karma
Yeah.
comes up, spirits, and all of that. There is consequences.
Yeah, it still it's a kind of belief that, do you want to hold and faith of keep doing that or not, or you believe that is a solution. But unfortunately, maybe to him, his case, it's not a solution because he survived. But then what happened? Does he, intend to do it again or again or again? It's just like what we mentioned earlier. Like, if you are not able to learn the lesson, the pattern is repeating. But if you are not able to really understand how to manage your life or manage your finance and all this kind of thing, then he's just never able to really get rid of that.
So it starts from greed.
So
Or begins from greed.
Greed?
I don't know.
Oh, I don't know.
Then.
It could be many things.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know. So, but I think in some ways it's a blessing and a mercy that he's retained us and is now probably re-looking and will have a load of therapeutic support from some community, I'm sure, who will have realised he needs some assistance in whatever way. And therefore he'll get it, and therefore he'll probably, reapproach his world and hopefully just live out his normal life. And that would be beautiful if he has an awareness of how precious he is. I think that's what we fail to teach people, only when they're children in schools and that, just how special each one of you. This beautiful sense of who you are. These people are very frightened to admit that, hey, you're special, each one. Yeah, right, like you people, and then whoever this person is. We're sort of beating along there, get up and do this, do that, do something else, and you haven't time to grow and become a great person with more potential. I think then if they recognise that.
Absolutely, I really concur to the point like everyone is unique and special.
Yeah.
And some people that they handle the same problem in different completely ways.
Totally
right?
different one.
But the one is like some people they suffer for their life and they still survive and fight for that. Some people they're just giving up so easy.
Yeah, but there could have been again, been interesting in the past life things. May have been
the lessons still
an element
there.
in this. And if he were to be able to look back and see, oh heavens, may have been a really major issue in a former life to do with something to do with major financial behaviours.
Yeah, some lessons still there.
Yeah, and then that would, you've had that experience. Absolutely. And we all learn from this.
Has anyone seen the latest Oprah interview with this guy called Panache Desai? He's really amazing. I saw it on Sunday. It was streaming live. And he was saying that, people used to say, oh, we're spiritual, and then we've got lessons to learn. Actually, according to him, we're moving away from that, and instead of spiritual, all you need to do is be authentic. Just be yourself. It's as simple as that. And then instead of learning the lesson, just accept. So if you are just being yourself and you accept other people, then soon enough, other people will accept you the way you are. Because at some point, the way you are has to be enough. And that really struck me. I think that's so simple. The other way that he put it, and it's yet so profound.
And it sounds simple.
Yeah, simple.
It sounds simple.
Today, so many people are expecting everyone to,
Exactly.
sort of reflect a model or an image of somebody that is magnificent. And people reshaping themselves and trying to perform accordingly and losing themselves. When actually they always love somebody if they're just themselves.
And they still have to work out with their own ego.
Yes, that's right. So different. Because we've always been pushed to be something.
And try to, be, I'm different from yours, I'm better than yours.
That's right.
You're just different. You're not better or anything.
Just who you are.
Exactly. So that's why it's easy to say acceptance. So when it comes to, the ego issue, that will be pretty tricky. Do you come across all this kind of experience? Easy to say, but well, this experience?
I think everyone has that at some point of their
Anyone like
life.
to share about that?
Sorry, I didn't hear that.
Oh, I said I think everyone has this experience in some point of their life.
Yeah.
Anyone like to share about that as well? This kind of, yeah, I know. But, wait a minute, or well, wait until something, a long list of something. Oh, then I will do it.
Well, I can't really think of an example of myself, but I can think of an example that most people are making.
Yeah, it's always easy
Is
to
that,
find others.
let's say, a couple. Sometimes they have struggle and they argue with each other, and one would say that I love him or I love her, this and that, but she's not doing something. This that I'm asking for, or this expectation that I have on her, and so. This example would somehow reflect that he's saying that he is accepting his partner, but at the same time he's having something that he's not accepting of her, and so it's kind of like the same thing as you were saying that when you want others to accept you, then you have to accept others too as well, and then the relationship will slowly come together. It's kind of like the same thing as the mirror that there's an entity called Basharin. He said that when you look in the mirror, it's a reflection of yourself. When you frown at the mirror, you get a frown back from the mirror. You don't go stretch it into a smile and say, you go smile first and then I'm going to do that. You have to smile first in order to get a smile from the mirror. So it's kind of like the same thing as how we accept other people, and then other people will accept us automatically. Same thing with people saying that, oh, I'm trying to get someone that we can love each other, but at the same time he's throwing all this judgment to him or herself, saying, oh, I'm not good enough for this, or I'm not qualified for this. And I can pretty much say that until you have learned to love yourself, you will never get to someone to love you, because you don't even accept yourself. But when you love yourself, you accept yourself as the way you are, then you naturally attract the person that knows who you are and would want to be with you. So
amazing. You're a relationship coach now.
Is that what you do?
no.
But absolutely, yeah. I mean, not only in relationship, but any kind of relationship. It's like, if we don't accept ourselves, we cannot say anything else. Isn't it? What next? If we not even accept ourselves, accept who we are, and we accept that, okay, we did mistakes sometimes. Yeah. And but yeah, this is part of
It's also an ongoing journey, right? Like, I think we all know all of this stuff. Yet when we're having this conversation now, I'll speak for myself, like when you were talking, I was like, oh yeah, I didn't do this in this area, and in this area I can look at that, and oh yeah, how much am I accepting in this area? And of course I've heard this before, we know this before, but yet being in the conversation and being in it all the time makes a difference.
the self-reflection.
Yeah. So it's
Spend
nice
time to
to
think
have
about
that.
how do you accept? You said that when you were in the MTR, you just accept whatever happens. So how can you really demonstrate this kind of acceptance?
When I did that, I do it quite often. when I have nothing to do. I just try to feel myself and to see if there is tension. And first in my body, and then I can allow myself to breathe deeply and just to relax my muscles. And then about my thoughts, because everything I see around, I will, not naturally, but because I'm conditioned in a way, I will attribute some values to everything I see. Oh, I don't like him. I don't like his shoes. Oh, and then my thoughts keeps on going all the time. So at some point I can just trying to not to stop this process, but at least to focus on the beauty of things, of the just simple things, just not trying to give any tag to anyone or anything, just trying to observe and just not judging. Just, okay.
So how do you do not judging? Because, you know, when I say something, I don't like it, that's a kind of judgment already. You know, it's so how can we really stop this kind of judgment?
By observing that you're having the thoughts.
Yeah.
When you're observing, when you're able to observe that you're having the thoughts, there's actually, I just thought that I didn't like her. Why so? It is not necessary, because, well, no, she's you and you are her at the same time, and well, then there's no need. So, but when you're able to observe your thoughts, you put some light on the darkness, and the darkness just disappears. There is no darkness cannot be at the same time as light. It cannot be together. So it's not always, but it's very often just observing your thoughts. So it's a constant work, and of course, doing it too much would be. Well, I used to do it too much, definitely, and now I'm learning how not to do.
Any side effect if you do too much?
Yes, you're in your own world, your own bubble, and you think too much. Yes. So at some point you have to let it go as well and say, okay, whatever I think, well, I do that and I do that and I don't mind. So it's another way when you do things and when you don't do things. When you don't do things, well, you can observe your thoughts, but as long as when you're doing something, well, just focus your mind on exactly what you're doing and do it with all your attention and it works that way, I think.
Yeah, observe our thoughts. Is anyone practicing as well?
Yeah, I think these thoughts, I believe, have energy. So if I suddenly think, you know, I mightn't believe that once, but then I sort of woke up with it one stage. Yes, if you give out a thought, even, it's quite phenomenal actually, of, well, that's a really nice person or something, and you're just thinking like that, and you're genuine about it. Somehow it just permeates the air, and people respond.
I think the brain actually really keeps up waves.
I do too, yeah, and then I'd read this somewhere, and I've actually put it into,
I think it's proven already. Like,
yeah, I put it into practice one time with some kids on a bus. I was in Europe, in Italy, and it was some years ago, you know, and I got on the bus, and you know, the bus was not me anyway, but there I was swinging from a rope or something, and some young kids got on to it. I'm jumping all over, complete Yahoo kids, you know. But just my luck, isn't it? You characters. And although I didn't know the language really, I could pick up what they were all on about, and it wasn't polite and it wasn't anything, right? Little wretches, and so I'm thinking a bit like that about them. And then I said, hang on, think the other one. Think they're beautiful, they're young, they're fit, and they're as lively as crickets. Just think beauty about them. And you know, within about 2 minutes, suddenly this mad lunatic, like a bunch of boys, so they all just seemed to be nice, and they settled down and took a chair, and they got around. Everything was beautiful. I thought, whoa, this is all right. So there's a tool for you. And it genuinely, I wasn't really expecting anything much to happen. And then I thought, as I say, it's 15 or years back. So I've always just kept that in the back of my mind, and it's almost like, good thoughts. Not to be manipulative, it had to be genuine. You know, I really did think, well, actually they're nice kids, as a matter of fact. They're just full of a joyous spirit and more noise than we needed. And I then noticed that when you're kind with people, like you were saying, and just accepting people, you know, that's a nice person, and rather than making those judgments of, you know, like that person wearing pink and all that sort of thing. Hell, what does that mean? But we've been a bit brought up to kind of look at what's wrong and not what's right. And usually it's 90% right.
But once again, you had no expectation.
I had absolutely no expectation. I was sort of thinking, if I get to the end of the tennis, it's going to be good.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's a byproduct of our acceptance.
It didn't really matter, really. The world wasn't going to fall apart.
Yeah.
But yes, that's part of it. But I was just kind of experimenting. And it did work brilliantly, so I continued to say that must be useful. And yeah, they have proven that thoughts. I really believe a bit, like you were saying too, sooner or later, and some clairvoyants can see these things. They'll be able to photograph those thoughts in colour. You know how they do the aura and so on. But when you see black coming off someone, it's wise. It's just like, you know, you get a wild dog out there. I walk round it, right? And if I see something where I feel there's a fair bit of black coming off that, again, I'm going that way round. I'm not going to turn whatever colour I am, because if black spews over it, it's not going to be so good. So I think that's a bit where you were with the magnetism too, or somebody was. The colours do attract each other. You just see it in those spectrum, really, isn't it? And frequency, vibration, and back to magnetism.
And you can even see this with a pendulum, you know, a crystal pendulum.
Yes.
When I put it over someone's body, and they're not thinking positively, it will be, you know, anti-clockwise. This is the study that I've done.
Right.
And then depending on which part of their body, if I just get them to think differently, like, you know, if it's here, then we know it's, you know, it's self-esteem, self-expression.
Yes,
So we just give them an affirmation, or get them to focus on something. Immediately, the chakra, the direction changes. I mean, this is already
And
proof,
this,
right?
yeah, I know, and that is, because we can't see it,
Yeah.
it's still a hard one, and we can't quite measure it. They're getting there. We don't quite believe it always, but
All of these, the proofs are there.
Yeah.
And even in the keylight, you know, the aura photography,
yes,
I've taken pictures of someone before and after a session. Completely different. It's all thought that's changed, right?
Well, you're saying that proofs are there, but from a scientific point of view, it's a demonstration, it's not proof. This is a big conflict with scientists who will never admit that another spiritual dimension exists, because it just cannot be.
they're beginning to prove it, which is great, because that, you know, this guy Bob, remember B-O-H, and he's done a lot. He's a physicist and so forth. They're coming behind, as always. Science is always coming behind.
You know that there is FBI agent who does huge amount of research on body language, and I mean, thoughts affect your body language. Maybe that's why one person can look so different.
Yeah, well, everyone is giving out a different sort of reverberation. But I think if we could all see it, which is maybe where we're going to go next. Wow, as you saw, if you were seeing that you're putting out a nasty colour there, and the minute you did something nice, it turned into, you know, rainbows and gold or something. Surely we would all be instantly able to modify our behaviour. You think, wow, I'm not going to look that murky. I'm going to be looking nice colours today. And it would be beautiful. And I'm sure that's what we'll ultimately develop. I mean, it's there already. That's what we're operating with, but we just, as you say, don't quite know how to do it, like radio waves or something. I mean, I still don't even know how they, but I know they do, because we're getting them, but it's that kind of stuff out there, isn't it? And of course the scientists and the engineers know, and the physicists. We've just got this next phase to it. And it is there, we can use it. But we don't quite know which dials to twist. Fantastic. But some of the beautiful work the clairvoyants have done, And you just got to say to yourself, well, they're not all totally mad. They've done it many times. It's tremendous what they're reporting. And then the oral photos, of course, backing it up again.
Yeah, it's interesting when, like the aura, there's a kind of indicator. It's an indicator for our mental state or our state that we're in. And yeah, so if you're able to develop the skills to see that, so clairvoyant will be able to see that, and that would be amazing for the healing work, because it will be very good. But we all can do it. So again, I always remind people, we're all able to see, we're able to hear, we're able to receive all these kind of messages. It's just a matter of practice. Okay. Yeah, so I'm not better than you, you're not better than me. We all have abilities. Okay. It's just sometimes that maybe you just don't believe that you can do it.
And sadly, you're right. When the scientists come behind and actually finally pin it down, as I say with radio waves, once they didn't know about them, get this all mapped up. Wow, then the world's going to go like that, because at the moment, we're just having to kind of work on our belief, shall we call it, or awareness or something. But wow, when everyone can do that without any hassle, just the way you can get your radio stations and things.
Yeah, but other topics, yes. Well, I study sport, and then I remember this story that I don't remember what years was it, like probably in the 70s or 80s, but like this competition, this race, like to run a mile, and then all the athletes could run only the mile, like 4 minutes and something, and 4 minutes, but nobody could below 4 minutes.
Oh, before the 4-minute barrier was broken.
One guy did it,
Yeah.
and the same year 17 guys did it.
Yeah, that's right. Wasn't that amazing? And the one guy, yeah, his story
Just
is
because the
fantastic.
belief
Yeah.
disappeared.
Yeah, because it was like it was such a big hurdle. Nobody can
Yes, nobody can do
get
it.
below the 4 minute.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Roger
You know,
Bannister.
you know the marathon a few days ago? It
Oh
was,
yeah.
yeah, I think there was an Indian man,
Yeah.
102-year-old, and he did the 20 km marathon in 2.5 hours.
In a wheelchair.
No, he ran.
Yeah.
Very fun.
Yeah, it's I think it's the belief that the people holding is you want to believe that or you don't want to believe that. And of course, if you don't want to believe that, maybe there's a lot of fear
Yeah.
within, or a lot of people they don't want you to believe that because it's difficult to control you at the
Yes,
same time.
that's
Because
another thing.
if everyone is special, everyone is unique, how can I manage you guys?
Yeah, that's another
Isn't
way
it?
and and a way
They
to try
may
and
not
put
really
you
want you
down
to
a
really
bit
have this
or
kind of
something.
development.
Yes, and yet, as I said, it's because it's a breakthrough thing. One day it'll just be so available, and everybody will be doing it. So it's not like it's something that's going to be only for a kind of elitist collection or something. No.
So think about like if one day the world become moneyless, right? So we don't use money. Then what's the bank people doing? They lost their job. Oh my God. So I don't think that they hope, that we are able to go through the stage to moneyless. Right? They still want us to under the money
So lose
system.
their-
Right?
oh.
Otherwise they have a lot of fear.
Mm. Yeah, it's huge to think of.
So that is like,
Yeah.
it's a different people that have different belief system. That is really based on what their
Yes.
personal background, history, and how do they see and react to the world, and really how strong that they really want to true to themselves. I'm sure a lot of people, even though they have this kind of fear, but at the same time they really want to true to themselves.
And of course, there's no advantage in them at this stage. They're the losers in a way, aren't they? They should have to prove to these things. But that's where, again, your catastrophes and upsets and worries that you mentioned, and it's people predicting, are almost a part of it, because they create a fear of a different order, which the money man can't control. You know, if the ground starts shaking or the typhoons come in and are just horrendous, no amount of money saves you. If you get ill, yeah, you might be the best doctor, but it might be that it's not going to work. It's only those kind of challenges that are the ones that really give those people a crack. Money they've always got, they can always solve the financial thing.
Nothing to take away.
Yeah, but sometimes it's a disaster that enables people to open up a bit in a new way. So maybe then disasters and fears are not wrong. They may be part of what is required at some stage. A catastrophe of some sort. As you say, if Nostradamus predicted, I don't know what that. It may be that, you know, that's all horrific as it sounds, what is going to happen. And the eventual thing is good.
It's like it's like a story that we are having here. Is like the challenge that we face are only the part that is before the ending, but every story eventually is a happy story. It's not a tragedy, so it will have a happy ending. You know.
That's right, but it might go through some horror and hell before we get there. Yeah.
Well, it may not be. It's about the belief, because the people that believe that lives should have some drama. And that's why they attract the drama. But we tell you life must be like that.
Yeah.
We tell you relationship must be, you know, this kind of difficult to, you know, matching with each other. You know, the tough lesson to, you know, compromise. Not necessary. It's about what you believe. You know, if you ask that, you know, there's still a number of examples out there. They're just so smooth and easy. It's about what you want to choose to believe.
I also believe that right now we are governed by the law of duality, right? Most of us are not into oneness yet, which means that there's going to be happy, sad, angry, ecstatic, elation, depression. We're still governed by this. Then why do we feel that we only have a birthright to be happy, elated, excited, peaceful, and all of those things that we deem positive? Because we're here in the human body for an experience, and that experience is the experience of duality. So whenever we are facing what we deem to be negative, oh no, it's wrong, it's bad, it should be easy, it should be smooth, it should be all of this, I think it actually should be both. It should be bad and good, sad and happy. And if we can just accept all the crap as much as we accept all the great things, then I think that would be like a great ticket out of the drama. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
And when the point that you really completely accept, you know, wherever it is, there's nothing called bad.
Yeah, that's the ascended person, isn't it?
Well,
That can
there's nothing
happily
is called bad,
accept.
and nothing is called like
It's neither
horror
good nor
thing
bad.
or negative stuff. You know, it's just everything's just beautiful.
happening.
It's just about, you know, do you understand what it is about? If something that you don't understand and you try to avoid, that is something that's about bad.
Yeah.
Because you don't know how to handle it. Everything, you know, in the physical form, they're just neutral, just something in the, you know, in the physical form, that's all. But it's about how do we use it, how do we project it, how do we understand the thing that makes it have different meaning. Like money is a, you know, typical example, and it's not about everything. Greedy, I don't know whether it's good or bad. Sometimes maybe if you're just asking for more for love and care, you know. And if you believe that there's abundance and so much love, you know, within everyone, there's nothing called greedy anyway. You're just asking for more love, and you just have so much love to yourself. Nothing's called greedy here. There's so much. There's just so much love.
So one of the presuppositions of NLP is that everything is useful. Like greed is useful, anger is useful.
Exactly.
Everything is useful.
Exactly.
Ego is
So that's why it is. Sorry.
I was saying like ego.
Yeah. Absolutely. Ego is a big thing. It's very important for us.
What is it? What is it?
Sometimes a drive to do certain things, so I think it's good.
It's part of us
Yeah, it's
anyway.
part of it.
cannot agree with it. It's not possible. Ego comes from an interpretation about a situation, something external. So it's your thought about something. And, well, ego is, you have to recognize ego when it's here, and basically we all have ego, except like a very high spiritual people. So yes, in a relative way, ego is needed, as long as it is needed, but it's only needed until it's not needed anymore. So what I would like to clarify here is just, in absolute truth, it is not needed, and we can all get rid of ego. This is, well, what we all trying to do, because ego provokes all these negative emotions, anger and everything. So we can all agree that it is not necessary. But why is it here then? And so in order to accept it as it is, well, you can just think, yes, ego is needed relatively, just to learn from it, to recognize it. So say, oh, I have some ego here, I have some anger. Then why? So what are my thoughts about it? And then you're learning, and then you naturally get rid of the ego. So, yeah, to clarify.
Yeah, I really love this point, yes. Yeah, we acknowledge, yeah, we learn it, and then we take it. You know, once you really understand everything, just, just like a kind of like, if there's a, bubble, on the carpet, you just try to smooth it every time. Every time when you go, there's a smooth piece, and one day it just be so smooth, and then disappear. It's just like the ego. Every time when you acknowledge, really understand and learn it, and then really what really happened, and observe and acknowledge that, one day it's not needed to turn up. Because you understand, you get the truth. Just like I said, one day we get to really the absolute truth. There's one day that we're really hoping that we can read into the light. That's what we use the word like in the light. So in the light, that is the state. That is completely love, completely, truth and all this kind of thing. So, yeah. And there's no other space for any other thing else. It's just purely black and white. Sure. So, yeah, interesting.
So I'm going to have to leave because I've got a dinner at
Sure.
But I'm really glad that I came and experienced this. Thank you so much.
Really appreciate it.
Very, very enriching experience. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm going to come whenever I can to these meetings. It's been great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just one second.
Sure.
So, I'll go to. But it's been marvellous to hear some different views. I wish I could stay longer myself. No. That's good. So I'll just move off at the same time. But lovely to hear so many good thoughts. Yeah, nice to see you again. Yeah, great. Yeah.
See you next time.
See you. Yes. Yeah. Maybe we can start later, sorry, because I haven't finished.
No, you haven't finished. I'll see you later. Sure.
Thank you so much.
Beautiful. Yeah, no, very nice. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Good to see you. Yeah, very nice. Righto. Yeah, no, I don't know what later, so I have to get your feeling. That's right.
You want to boil it maybe hot? You sure? More water.
It's not been done before, but
A lot of things.
Yeah.
Maybe things are hard. Is it overwhelming for you? Is it okay for you? Sorry, put a lot of attention on you because it's your first time. Sorry, just trying to be
Newcomer.
gentle for you. Is it okay for you? Yeah, it's not overwhelming. Yeah. Because I'm not sure if have you ever joined this kind of gathering that we talk about quite
Nothing remotely
funny
close.
things.
Yeah, first time for this kind of events.
Yes, it's okay for you. Too crazy. This girl crazy people. Ooh, it's a crazy couple. How do you feel so far?
Doing good. It's nice seeing you again.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen you for ages, like a few months now, isn't it?
No, only 1 month. I saw you last time with Annie,
Yeah.
and you were giving out cards.
Yeah, it was here
Oh.
last time.
Oh, where's my memory? Oh, I think I changed a new brain. Sorry for that.
It's okay, it's okay. You're just having some time, you know.
Yeah, I have a lot of time destruction. That I'm really honest to tell you that yeah, since 2013, there's so many happy and interesting things happening on me. So it's just like so many new experience for me, and you know, I really like have new pairs of eyes, new pair of ears, yeah, all this kind of thing. So it's like receiving the messages is more intense or in some ways. So yeah, that's I still have to try to adjust all this kind of new way of life. So yeah, a lot of new things happening. Yeah. Any impact on you, 2013? 2013?
Yeah, for me, I'm going to Diana Cooper's workshop. I'm pretty excited about it.
Have you booked everything already?
Yeah, I registered already, so I just have to get the accommodations, just book the accommodations and air tickets.
Your husband go with you?
No, it's not
Oh.
going.
Where is
So
that
just me.
place?
Tokyo.
Tokyo.
Yes.
Interested to join?
Tokyo.
Oh. Yeah.
Maybe. I'm not really a traveler.
You don't have to travel, just stay there,
Yeah,
don't
just
worry.
stay
Just fly there and stay there.
Yeah, except, no,
Whole
it's
day
not flying.
workshop.
No, we're very advanced. Just think, oh, I'm in Tokyo now. Oh, wow.
Oh,
Yeah, there's no geographical, difference. It's just
Planning to go to Tibet for my next.
Tibet. When?
I'm not sure when
But you plan to or you want to?
I want to. But yeah,
Is there something connected to you in Tibet, or
typically.
is there something connected to you, or
No, I just thought scenery is so beautiful there.
so there's something that connects you, like you want to see the scenes, or you
Yeah.
want to see the history,
So
because there's so many places in the world that have so many beautiful rocks and stuff. Wow. Ooh. Would there be any holiday coming soon that you can go?
well, not anytime soon.
Why is that? If you want to go, then just do it, isn't it?
Yeah, but it takes like 2 weeks.
Yeah, see, that's a pattern. Oh yeah, but yeah, wait until something. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a pattern.
but-
Yeah.
No, seriously, I only have 1 week of holiday
Yeah,
each
you
year.
can go there if you really want to, isn't it?
Taking about holiday now.
Even
Yeah,
3 days.
it's just
Take
like
it.
like if you really want to
Yeah,
have
but
it, just
I-
like you, if you really want to go for holiday, you just go there,
But I
right?
really want to climb, no, not climb, but walk around Mount Everest. And yeah, it takes a few days.
Where is that?
Mount Everest.
so you're going to be the next person that get on top on that
No,
one?
no,
Yeah.
no. Just the base, just the
On one
base,
Challenge.
New record.
just the base camp. Yeah.
And yeah, I'm sorry I missed some part, but so why can't you? Why don't you go?
Eh?
Why don't you go to holidays?
Don't have time.
Are you having a job right now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, you can always sign up for no pay leaves.
Afraid not.
Yeah, I mean, in the physical form of the world that sometimes we have so many commitments.
Oh, and it's because of family business. That's why it's more.
But sometimes there's that if you see beyond the commitment, yeah. I mean, I don't mean that you have to become like an irresponsible person, but
I try to make up time.
I mean the most important is if there's something that you really want to, there's nothing can stop you.
Yeah.
That is a belief
Go
again.
for it.
Yeah.
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 That's a belief again.
It can look complicated, but if it's actually something which is needed in your life, anyway you will do it, anyway you will find a solution, and it will be easier than you think.
Maybe the drive is not strong enough for you. Yeah. Maybe
Better
something
not to
else
be
that
too
you want to
strong.
do at the moment. I don't know.
I guess there's many problems around that, like it's like a family business, and then you cannot
Yeah, well, I mean,
speak, and you don't have money or you don't have time, or things like that. tends to
That's
be.
why I say, if something's important, then you will allocate the time for it. Just like recently, a number of clients that talk to me saying that, oh yeah, I used to have meditation as a daily practice. And that, what do you used to be? So that means meditation is no longer important in your life. So you don't want to allocate the time for that. I don't mean that you must do that, but if you feel good about that, you allocate. It's just like even when you're waiting the MTR, 4 minutes, that is something. So that's something that do you think or do you feel good about it?
It's an automatic system. When you love to do something, you go do it without thinking.
Yes.
Yeah, no
Thinking.
Sometimes it takes some time because you keep on thinking, well, I cannot do it. I have to do that, I have to do that. And then when it becomes very, very strong, finally you say, well, so, okay, I should start doing that and that. Okay, I would prefer still to have this new activity, and I really prefer it. So, finally.
Yeah, it really depends on which side that you connect to. Normally that most of people, majority, or generally speaking, we more connect to our cognitive side, right, of thinking. Yeah, so that's why we have so many no, but this kind of stuff, right? But if you really strongly connect to your heart, nothing called but. I just want it. Nothing can stop me. I just want it. And it's just like if you're feeling hungry, just grab the food. That's all. You not wait. Right? If you try to delay and stop, that's because cognitively thinking, saying that because I have to finish that, blah blah blah. Yeah, but you're not loving yourself. Because you're ignoring your own signal to asking you for something, so you're not connecting to the heart.
So no more questions? You see, it was easy. Okay, next one.
Hey, it's a clinic now. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. Okay, next one. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's easy to say, and sometimes it takes some time to just to change things and change our mind in particular.
It takes time to practice our courage. I think this one. Yeah, it takes time to build up a number of experience that I can do it. I can make it. I can really feel comfortable and can really trust our own heart and feeling. That's something. That's quite interesting.
And sometimes it's only a belief that you think that you cannot do it. It can be by yourself or by someone else's belief, and you took it as your own belief, thinking that you cannot do it yourself too. And then you actually believe that, and then you don't do it. But sometimes you realize, hey, that's not my own belief. It's someone else's belief. I'm actually stealing their beliefs.
Yeah. Well, actually, any belief is not yours. Yeah, any belief that you can have originally from when you were a baby first, like your parents told you something, and then you started believing that. So the belief cannot be your, it's not having a belief. It's not possible.
All there is experience. But what you believe that experience means makes your own reality, right?
Yeah, experience is an experience.
Yeah.
But,
it doesn't have a built-in meaning, or a built-in belief that what this means, or what it is.
So you build it out of other beliefs that you had before.
Yeah.
So even the new beliefs that you can create out of an experience already come from the origin from this new belief that you think you're creating yourself. It's just because you had already other beliefs in your mind and you could assemble these beliefs together and say, oh, okay, yeah, that's not good for me.
Sometimes the beliefs play a very important part in our lives, and how do we understand all this kind of thing, or sometimes it's like automatic system. But on the other hand, sometimes it's like kind of a limitation.
Yeah, it is sometimes.
I think a few days ago I mentioned something like people, we all want to have freedom, but at the same time we try to find a lot of belief or limits or the boundary for us, for our own self, to limit our own self. thinking that, oh yeah, I can't do it, I can't make it. It's kind of like you're trying to limit yourself. For example, like, okay, I want to fly in the air. So we try to, you know.
Try.
Yeah. So how do you try it, and then or you just try to put yourself off. So that's it's a matter of which way that you select. Okay. Anything else to share?
You look tired.
Am I?
Sleepy? No?
No, I am. Well, my mind's thinking about my trip.
The trip?
Yeah, I'm going to the airport tonight, so.
Oh, okay.
Oh, where are you going?
Over
Thailand.
Where
Bangkok.
what's going on, but
Just by yourself or with someone?
I always like it by myself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that is something that you can do more and something like that.
For how long? Two weeks?
Yeah, just a few days.
2 weeks.
Yeah, don't miss me that much.
probably don't want to come back.
No, I don't think that Thailand is that attractive to me. There's a small thing that I like to do, and well, we can just pick one and then let's see.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, what is it?
I don't know what is it. So let's just let's see. Yeah.
It gives you the date of your death.
Excuse me.
Tomorrow, like, no!
This evening. Hello, I have to get on the plane. Yeah, okay, just pass around, just, pick anyone that you feel connected. Let's see the energy feel
Yes.
connection, yeah.
Okay. I think.
No, that's the one I wanted to pick.
Take it serious? That's about the date.
Oh, am I supposed to say it?
Well, yeah, whatever you like. Yeah. Is it ace? Okay. Does it make sense to you for your day or your coming events? What is the bound?
Of course. Yeah, general statements.
You like to share with us what's yours?
You have confidence in your ability to do whatever you set your mind to. And I have confidence in my ability to do whatever I set my mind to.
Do you feel
So-
different after you say both sentences?
Well, it is a general statement.
Yeah, sometimes general, but do we really have the confidence? That's, sometimes
course.
we need to kind of remind them, isn't it?
Yeah.
You need reminded, yeah, that's true.
How is that? How is the others? Does it make sense to you?
The one is, it is your divine right to be happy. It is my divine right to be happy.
Does it make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Is it happy to you? You are happy?
Am I happy now? I'm getting closer, one step closer to happiness.
These are complicated people.
We're only men.
There's something I always say, this kind of man just never able to understand.
Sometimes I think about it, like I say, I can see, like, I can try to think how women think, and women are much more intuitive, and I can sometimes try to understand. Of course, I cannot know, but trying to see how frustrated you can be of feeling things much more than men. But men always say, no, you're not right. No, you do that because that and that. With the rational thinking. I think we're all balanced in a way. Like even men can be very intuitive and women can be very rational as well. But yes.
Yeah, you bring up a very interesting topic. It's about twin flame. Twin flame, that is something that you mentioned earlier about the mirror. So, twin flame, that is the soul of twin, right? So that's you basically. And sometimes twin flame may turn up as a romance relationship, but there's something like both masculine and feminine energy exist, within the same person, and at the same time, that will kind of sometimes maybe out of balance. So that's why we have so many lessons to learn and all this kind of thing. And then when you find someone is really strongly attracted to you or connected to you, that's because that is someone's mirror of you. So basically, that you're twin. So it's like, oh, I found you. Okay, that's the moment. So, and then you find that the other person is just like, for example, if you're quite, very cognitively rational, thinking that kind of person, that you may be able to find another person that is very, very sensual, very strong intuition, this kind of thing. There's a kind of like a kind of combo, but it's saying that actually there's a lesson again, is for each of you learning and growth. So it's not just purely, complement each other. It's also like you mirror to each other because as part of you. So maybe some people that they just focusing on their masculine energy, so then you get their feminine energy. So the other person that is like a mirror of you, then you're able to develop your feminine side. And we all have both, both energies within the side.
It's really interesting that you say that the twin flame thing. Well, in other words, it's soulmate, right?
There's slightly different levels. Yeah.
Oh, slightly different. Okay. Well,
they all are the soul within the family, like simple.
yeah. And then there's a soul family thing.
Yeah.
And twin flame, to me, it seems like the first twin flame that you ever find is not someone else but yourself.
Yeah.
And because you will always be with you, and you will be the only one that will always be with you and there to support yourself. And no matter you are having a positive experience or a negative experience. And so your best friend is actually yourself, and also twin flame or your own family, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, but be aware of the way of saying that because there are only one soul.
Mm-hmm.
So just clarify the point here. So yeah, it's very interesting. How the others?
Alright, how you are confident in who you are. I am confident in who I am.
So very confident here.
So similar to my one.
It's the same card.
Yeah.
And I have,
Oh, okay.
The vibration is coherent.
I have about confidence as well.
Ooh, really?
But you're going to tell me if it's true or not. Mine is saying others notice your self-acceptance and confidence.
And the next one?
The other one is others notice my self-acceptance and confidence.
What do you think?
Yeah, that's the most important. I shouldn't think. Should accept. Should accept. But is it true?
Exactly. Yeah.
It's very interesting for me because I'm more recently I'm trying to observe my thoughts about me and the others. I know that my pattern of thinking, my thinking pattern is I always need a kind of approbation or confirmation from others to feel completely confident or relaxed about something. And I realize that it cannot work this way, and I have to learn how just to love myself enough for not depending on others people's opinions about me. We all do that at some point, more or less, about some topics. But as well, I notice around, some people just don't mind. They do the things and they actually look very worried. And so I look at them and I say, wow, I understood some things that I didn't understand. But I think it's good to think about it, and it's funny that this card is about others, notice. It's exactly my thoughts.
Important point, like, so how we want to, or looking for some kind of acknowledgement or recognition from the others. But first of all, is how do you feel it first? If you don't believe that is something that belongs to you, then you cannot ask people to believe in you. Just like if you're the salesperson, you have to trust your own product before you sell it to the others. That's the same thing. If you say that you're good, you have to believe that I'm good. You know, like it's not
What about yours?
Oh, is it I'm the last? Ah, I'm very happy about that. You are happy just being yourself. Dun, dun, dun. I'm happy just being myself. Yeah, just happy being myself, and yeah, and you know, when we say being yourself, it's like yourself is keep on changing. So, you know, yesterday, the me of yesterday is different from me of today, person is different from tomorrow. So embrace the moment of being. Present moment.
Yes, that's the book's concept for being.
Yeah. It's all about being, and yeah, part of now is really powerful. Yeah, I keep watching all his videos. It's like, oh, I'm so friends now.
Yeah, me too. I just watched another one like some days ago.
Yeah. The way that he I mean, he has such kind of interesting charisma.
Yeah.
Was that
Which?
the
Oh,
Da, 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 da.
I think he has interesting charisma because actually he doesn't have any charisma.
I know. I
It
mean,
makes him just
yeah.
like vulnerable and
He's just like
simple.
but
and-
plain. Yeah, just flat. But you know, when I mean, the whole is sometimes I just come up with so much interesting and amazing humor.
so
Yes.
so the Power of Now. I know there's a book
Yeah.
called Power of Now,
Yes.
and they made it into a movie.
No, they have a lot of YouTube interview. Yeah,
Oh.
just check it out.
Oh,
There's so many.
Either seminars, retreats,
Yes.
or talks,
Or
like
different
people
topics,
asking
yes.
questions and then the
Yes,
audience.
amazing.
And
So the YouTube channel is called The Power of Now.
You just check his name.
ouais, écarte YouTube and you will
Yeah.
find
Yeah.
thousands.
Yeah,
Okay.
loads and loads of that. Yeah, you can check
Okay.
it out. Amazing.
So it's actually really good because when I read the book first, I was thinking, yes, but like in a real situation, but yes, but yet,
Yeah.
and then you finally after you have many answers, very concrete answers in these videos.
Yeah. And of course, you know, everything is the same. You just take a bit of time to, you know, break down your own belief system, and then you build your own belief system. It takes a bit of time, and it takes a lot of courage. You know, just like when you are trying to be a new self, it takes a lot of time, like maybe peel off your skin and then healing. So the process may not be nice because it may be the chance that, you know, revealing your own, you know, the dark side of yourself. So you may not ready for that sometimes. Or some people, oh no more, just, you know, turn their face back. So, but at the end, that's part of the process. So,
By the way, how do you use that coffee thing? Like, do you actually spin it?
okay, this one. Well, it basically just put the bean on top and then just grind the coffee, make it into a small size. Just
Oh, and there's a jar inside, right?
yeah, then you can put the thing we just, you know, put in. The smaller bit will drop down.
Oh, okay, I
So
see.
that's the thing. But this kind of machine, this kind of thing, yeah, it's just only for presentation. It's not useful at all.
I see.
Yeah, so when you see any shop, you know, they put all this kind of thing as a kind of presentation in the room to show that they are a famous barista.
But it's functional, right?
No, it's not functional.
Oh, okay.
So don't believe those people. They're just true. Yeah, but it's nice to see it. All right. Okay. So thank you for coming. Oh, and thank you for all this newsletter. Oh yeah, I forgot to give those people. These are the February. Have you taken February?
Yep, I read.
Oh yeah, you have it. Yeah, here you go. And you?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, you have that one. Yeah, so that is the newsletter from Peter. Yeah, somewhere in the world.
My awakening journey.
I love it. Okay, yeah, thank you for coming, and we appreciate that. Yeah.